I'm Maverick Mitch, and on this episode, we're in Africa. Not just anywhere in Africa. We're going to Benin, Togo, and Ghana. This trip wasn't a solo trip, it was actually a group trip. So I had to join the group which was already in Africa. Unfortunately, I ended up missing my flight from Montreal to Morocco. That started pretty bad. I had to wait a couple days. I ended up flying from Montreal to Paris.
First stop of our trip to Benin. We're currently in Paris with a 5-hour layover. From Paris, to go to Morocco, and Morocco, Benin. We have a few hours to burn, so I figured, why not? Let's go see the Eiffel Tower. Now I just need to find my way to this train.
Now, France isn't on top of my list to visit. I wasn't really excited to see anything, but I was there. So I figured, let's go see that Eiffel Tower.
Let's go see what this is all about. See the hype.
And there it was, one of the most recognized landmarks in the world. Why was I not impressed? I mean, it goes deeper than that. There's a lot of history. But standing there, I couldn't help but to feel conflicted. Being of Haitian descent myself, both my parents being born in Haiti, we look at the Eiffel Tower a little different than most people. All right, and that was it. So I hopped on the train, headed back to the airport, and it was time to go to Africa. After finally arriving in Benin, I was beat. I must have landed around 3 a.m., checked in a hotel, got some rest, and the following morning, I did what most runners would do. Go for a run in the morning and get acclimated to Benin, or Cotonou to be exact. There's something about running in a new country. You get to feel the rhythm of the city, the people, and how everything just moves. Now, you could tell by the footage, there was a lot going on, and cars, motorcycle. It's not really pedestrian friendly, but got it done. So after that, I caught up with the group and we headed to the Amazonian woman statue. Now, this is a sight worth seeing. Now, I have to say, I absolutely loved seeing this. This was definitely on my bucket list. And let me give you a brief history on the Amazonian woman statue. This monument honors the Agoji, also known as the Dahomey Amazons. These were an all-female military regiment from the Kingdom of Dahomey, which existed in what is now modern-day Benin. They were known for their strength, discipline, fearlessness in battle, and were one of the most respected fighting forces of their time. Standing in front of the statue, you really feel the power and history. A movie I recommend watching, if you haven't seen it already, is The Woman King. After that, we walked along a long stretch of walls with murals. I mean, this was beautiful. The artwork here tells stories of culture, identity, history, and everyday life. As I spent more time in Benin, I realized that Benin has so much history and culture, more than people would know. Now, it is said that Haiti and Benin have historical ties, as the religion of Vodou is shared. Now, if you didn't know, Benin is located in West Africa with a population of around 13 million people. This region was once home to the powerful Kingdom of Dahomey, which existed in the 1600s to the late 1800s. The kingdom was known for its structured society, strong military, and its role in regional trade at the time. But like many parts of West Africa, its history is also connected to the slave trade. Millions of people were taken from this region and sent across the Atlantic. And with them, they carried pieces of their culture, beliefs, and traditions. And one of these traditions is Vodou. It's a spiritual system that actually originated right here in Benin. Vodou is often misunderstood in Western cultures. It's not about what people think when they hear the word Vodou. There's this big taboo or this big woo voodoo. It's not that. It's about respect, balance, and spiritual connection. And as people were taken from that region, shipped over across the Atlantic, they brought that part with them. So while in Benin, we had the opportunity to visit a Vodou site. This wasn't just a tourist stop. This was a chance to step into something real and deeply rooted in the culture. So what I got to experience there gave me a totally different perspective.
Tout le monde est venu. Quand il est venu, on l'a installé. Il y a eu un donné ce que nous avons là, le lac. Le lac l'a séparé avec ceux qui le pouvaient. La maison a été mise là. Tout par le nom que porte cette l'énergie, le pouvoir, la parole. C'est 3 éléments. Et donc on a résilience. Pour moi,
So you've probably watched a few episodes, you know we have to hit the gym. So we had the opportunity to visit a brand new gym that opened in Benin called Momentum Gym, opened by a Montreal guy, Maxime Victor. It was great. We got to test out a whole bunch of new equipment. I made a workout. We definitely got the sweat in. So on the second part of the day, I had some time to myself and I absolutely wanted to visit the Gate of No Return in the town called Ouida. And to get there, I hopped on a motorcycle and rode for about an hour. The ride itself gave me a chance to take in more of the surrounding, moving from city to a quieter area and getting closer to the coast. Ouida is a historic town and one of the most significant places tied to the slave trade. From here, there's the path that leads towards the ocean and the path that holds a lot of history. At the end of the path stands the Gate of No Return. This monument marks the place where millions of Africans were taken from their homeland, forced onto ships, and sent across the Atlantic. For many, this was the last time they would ever stand on their soil. Now, as a symbolic way to free myself and all my ancestors, what we do is we start from the ocean and we walk backwards through the Gate of No Return. Standing here, it's hard to not feel the weight of that history. You look out to the ocean and you realize just how many stories began right here. It's a place that forces you to pause, to reflect, and to understand just a little more what people before us went through. And like that, I symbolically freed not just myself, all my ancestors. Let me tell you a bit about the purpose of this trip. Not only was it a trip to kind of reconnect with your roots, we also wanted to give back. And one of those ways of giving back was spending time at an orphanage. Now you may ask, who put this together? How did this come about? The who, what, when, and how. The who is HR Cares, which is a local organization based in Montreal, which gives back, does international trips / humanitarian missions. The orphanage has children ages from 1 to 17. We got to spend time with them. They showed us a bit about who they were, their personalities. And again, it was just kids being kids. Although their circumstances are not like ours, they're still kids. And they were just grateful and joyful and smiling and dancing and playing their instruments. It was such a rewarding and fulfilling experience. It's one of those where you're not gonna get to experience this many times in your life. So this was a trip that I absolutely had to make it to. So now it was time to move on from Benin on to the next country in Togo. One thing you have to realize about Africa is that make sure you have your visas together, make sure you have all your documents together because you need them. And they won't let you through unless you have these papers.
All right, well, finally crossing that border after all. I didn't have to wait that long, just a few hours. Now I need to find a ride to get me into town. All right, figure that part out. One battle after another.
After finally getting through the border in Togo, I made my way into the city. So we didn't spend much time in Togo. It was about maybe 2 days. So it was kind of a quick stop before heading to Ghana. Nonetheless, Togo had a lot to offer. And it's definitely a place I'd go back because I feel like we didn't see much, but we did see enough. So I'll let the footage speak for itself. Enjoy.
You made it.
C'est une colonie allemande de 1894 à 1914. Puis, qu'est-ce qui est arrivé, c'est que les Allemands, c'est des petits fréquents. C'est eux autres qui sont partis la Première Guerre mondiale et la Deuxième Guerre mondiale. Donc, après la Première Guerre mondiale, la Société des Nations leur a enlevé toutes leurs colonies. Ouais, donc, ils leur ont donné à la France et aux Britanniques. La France avait la partie Est et les Britanniques avaient la partie Ouest. La partie Ouest a été cédée au Ghana. Donc maintenant, c'est le Ghana qui a la partie Ouest. Donc le Togo était plus grand que ce qu'il est présentement. C'est pour ça qu'à l'Ouest, on a le Ghana qui a pris de l'expansion à cause de ça. Ensuite est venu 1950. 1950 est venu les révoltes pour arriver vers l'indépendance avec le leader qui s'appelait Sylvanus Olympio. D'ailleurs, Sylvanus Olympio, en 1961...
1960, il a eu l'indépendance.
Ouais.
Et après 3 ans exactement, on l'a assassiné. Et c'est la France toujours.
So after visiting historic sites, we absolutely wanted to go to the beach. Now, this isn't like Mexico or your typical tropical destination where the beach is really accessible and you can just go anywhere. It's a little different now. Remember, TIA, this is Africa. So we ended up finding this place called Blue Turtle Beach, and it was wonderful. So not only did we get to visit one orphanage in Benin, we got to visit another orphanage in Togo. And this one, again, wonderful kids, just welcomed us with open arms, singing and dancing and putting on shows. And honestly, it was amazing. I'll stop talking. Try not to cry.
Avons des besoins pour notre épanouissement.
Tous les enfants et tout, ça nous touche.
Je chante.
Vous chantez?
Mon ami, je partirai.
The following day, we're heading to Ghana. Now, the Ghanaian border is actually right next door to Lome. It's about a 15-minute drive. However, you do have to drive about 4 hours into the country to get to Accra. So yes, another border. Now, let me tell you a bit about Ghana. Ghana is one of the most historically significant countries in West Africa, with a population of over 30 million people. It was once known as the Gold Coast, named after its rich natural resources, particularly gold, which attracted European traders as early as the 15th century. But beyond that, Ghana also played a major role in the slave trade, with forts and castles built along the coast where enslaved Africans were held before being sent across the Atlantic. In 1957, Ghana became one of the first African countries to gain independence from colonial rule. Today, Ghana is known for a strong sense of identity, culture, and resilience. And it's referred to as one of the most welcoming countries in Africa. While in Ghana, you definitely have to visit one of the country's most important landmarks, the Independence Arch. This monument stands as a symbol of freedom, unity, and independence. The Black Star itself represents African liberation, and it became a powerful symbol during Ghana's fight for independence. It's located in the Independence Square of Accra, a place that holds deep national significance. So standing here, you can really feel the pride and the progress of Ghana. So as we were visiting, we saw a guy that was filming a music video. His name is Billy Gangsta, and before you know it, we were in a music video. big shout out to Billy Gangsta for having us in his music video. I want to wish him the best, and any way we can support, we're here for you. After visiting the Independence Arch, we made our way to Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. This park is dedicated to Kwame Nkrumah, the man who led Ghana to independence in 1957. He was the first prime minister and president of Ghana, and one of the most influential leaders in Africa's fight against colonial rule. The memorial itself is built on the site where Ghana's independence was first declared, making this place even more significant. It's not just a monument, it's a space that represents vision, leadership, and the beginning of a new chapter for the country. Walking through here, you can really feel the weight of what was accomplished and how much it meant, not just for Ghana, but for Africa as a whole. So Kwame Nkrumah's legacy still lives on and forever. Now, Ghana, to be specific, Accra, is vibes. It's different. It's a little more Americanized compared to the other countries we went to. So food choices, endless. It was just good vibes. Clubs were bumping, music, you know. If you know Ghana, you know Accra, then you know. There's a reason why Dirty December is like now a worldwide thing. So while we were in Ghana, we were lucky enough to catch the African Cup final, which was Morocco versus Senegal. Senegal won. However, there's some controversies that were behind that, and it was overturned weeks later, and the cup was given to Morocco. Senegal won, period. So we got to visit Kakoum National Park. So other than wildlife, it offers suspended bridges that you can walk across and get to see the sights and beautiful views of the wildlife of the forest and how it's conserved, and it's actually really nice. I really enjoyed the moment. If you're scared of heights, it might not be for you, but it's fun. It was safe. The bridge were, a little shaky, but it was good. After the national park, we made our way to one of the most important and emotional historic sites of Ghana, Cape Coast Castle. This castle was originally built by European traders in the 1600s, but over time, it became one of the major holding points during the transatlantic slave trade.
1992, Ghana celebrated the first Pan-African Historical Theatre Festival, PANAFest. PANAFest is a celebration that promotes African unity, it preaches African togetherness. And during Ghana's first PANAFest, the traditional authority on our land, our National House of Chiefs, came together to present the message we see here as an apology. Every day I say this is not enough. This is to admit that the African on his own land became the object and instrument of slavery. Some chiefs gave them the land, the forts and castles to own. Others sold their captives of war to these Europeans. So for whatever roles predecessors played in slavery, this is what was brought in 1992 as an apology. In as much as I think this is not enough, it carries weight. An entrance to an underground tunnel. There is a passage right behind the wall that connects the male slave dungeon to the door of no return. In 1834, Captain George McLean would see to the closure of the tunnel as they ended slavery in this castle. Corrupted or mispronounced to Kwaku. So he left Kwejiri, he came back Philip Kwaku. And there he would read theology and education in Oxford. At age 24, he became the first African to be ordained an Anglican priest. And next year, he returned to Gold Coast. Here he served as a reverend minister for 50 years. So he would preach to an all-European congregation. As his own brothers, Africans like him, died right in the meeting. Singled out and you did not submit. You were locked up in here as a woman, 7 to 10 days, fed once a day. This is a female slave dungeon. 200 women were locked up in here. All right. Women had 2 holding cells. We stand in the first, right opposite us is the second. Everything was done in here, like the men. But I always used to say it was a terrible experience for women. Those that were fortunate, I chose that word advisedly, to be seen pregnant, were taken outside the castle. They took good and proper care of until they delivered. They were allowed to breastfeed their babies for some time. But at a point, babies were separated from mothers. Mothers returned to the dungeons, here they await the next ship. Babies were kept. They took good care of them. They were educated. So above the dungeon, that church doubled as a classroom for mulattoes. children born out of it. They would grow in the society to become the aristocrats. The big men, big women we had in the society. Some became slave merchants. Some sold Africans because of what they saw growing up. The question is compensations. Slavery got abolished. A group was compensated. Logically, the enslaver and the enslaved, who deserves compensations? Logically, who was compensated? The enslaver, having lost businesses, was compensated. They had taken food from their tables, they were compensated. Till date, there are calls, demand for reparations. Compensations are still demanded for the crimes and atrocities committed against humanity. Read How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. There's still this conception that Africa still suffers the impact. A chunk of the population was uprooted. And for every nation to develop human resource is essential. If they're living, not specific to the European, not to the African, not to the Asian, humanity, the living, you and I. Usually I add my own bits before I end my talks. And what I say is that regardless of our differences, it could be our color, it could be our tribes, it could be the gender, the race, religion, spirituality, whatever differences there is. In the midst of injustice, we should not shy away from speaking up. We should not keep quiet. Speak out.
And there you have it, Cape Coast Castle, one of the most important sites of Ghana. It's one of those that you cannot miss if you're visiting Ghana. Not only do I recommend you visit Ghana and the neighboring countries, I recommend that you get in touch with the culture, the history, and everything behind it. So like I mentioned, Ghana is vibes. Accra, vibes. I didn't get to film a lot. I filmed the most important parts, but we partied, we ate, met people. It was an amazing trip. All in all, this was probably one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. Got to hang out with old friends and made new ones. I'm Maverick Mitch. Thank you for watching this episode. I'd like to thank HR Cares for putting this together. Big shout out to everyone that joined on this trip. Big shout out to all the people that we met. I'll catch you on the next one.